Hello, I'm Mark from My Italian Travels, and today I'm going to show you how to find the kind of hotel you're looking for anywhere in Europe within your budget. Before you watch this video, if you haven't seen my other video using Google Maps to plot all of your sightseeing sites, I would recommend that you go and see that first. You can find it on my website, My Italian Travels, and I'll give you a real quick glance at why I think this is a good idea. Using Google Maps to plot everything is a great idea. For example, I have an Italian travel site and I use Rome as an example for a lot of things, but here's my biggest example. All these little balloons, I teach people how to find all the sightseeing sites that they want to go to, and they put one of these balloons on it. That way when they go to sightsee, they know where everything is, and also even before they get there, they can look and say, well, I would like to have a hotel that's centrally located. And I can zoom out just a little bit and you can see where some of the other sites are. So if you could find a hotel way out here or way out here that you're in love with, go ahead and stay in it, because you're the one who wants to be there. It's going to make you happy, but you have to keep in mind that Rome, like so many other big cities in Europe, is a walking city, and if you find a hotel way out here or way out here, you're probably going to either have to take a cab or the bus to get into town to start walking around to look at all the sites, because the thought of driving into the city and finding a place to park just isn't going to happen. That's why Europe is the way it is and the way it's designed. It's more walking and to find things. So what I teach people on that other video is how to locate all their sites. That way, if they want to have something centrally located, like maybe right around here or even up here, that way when they go to sightsee, they can walk and walk and walk. And from here to here, it's really only not even a mile. So everything in Rome is within good walking distance. So it's a really good place to go sightseeing. And that's one of the reasons why I recommend looking at that video before you watch this one. It'll give you a better idea of what you're looking for and how to find it. Now we're ready to start looking for hotels, and like I said, I use Rome as an example, so I'm just going to type in Rome, R-O-M-E, and it fills in the rest of it. You don't even have to type in Rome, Italy, and I click on it. Now what I like to do, and you don't have to do it this way, but this is how I like to do it, I like to do my search based on staying for one night. That way I can easily figure out how much the room is per night. And the other thing you have to make sure that you do, this is real important, you have to put your search in for the dates that you really know that you're going to stay. Because if you put in a date of January, you're going to get January prices for the hotels, and which is going to be a lot different than June. It could be, half again as much, because high season is high season anywhere and the prices go up a lot. So I'm just gonna, today it's September the 24th, 2015. So I'm gonna say I like May. May's a really good month to go over there to Europe. So I'm gonna come over here and find May. And here's May. Let's say I want to stay in Rome for the 18th, and I want to stay and leave on the 19th. So then I click search. And this sometimes takes a while, sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on how fast it wants to be that day. Okay, and now you're going to get this page, and if you look over here, it says there's 2,566 hotels that are available for that day. Now what I want to do before I start looking at that, because that's a lot and nobody wants to look at that many hotels, I want to come up here and I want to change this. This is showing me what this is dollar-wise. So I want to look at in my currency, and I'm from the United States, so I want to look how much it is US dollars. So I just changed that, and it's going to change all of that over, and then it will show me each hotel per night in my dollar figure. The next thing I want to do is I want to come over here, and I want to say that I want to see prices of the hotels from low price to high price, and that'll give me a better idea of what's going on also. Then the next thing I want to do, because you're still having a lot of hotels, it's going to show you everything. I want to come in here and I want to set a price range. Well, I want to pay between $100 and $150 a night, so I have to grab these little handles and slide it over on the slide bar. Sometimes you can't get it real fast, Sometimes it messes with you, but today I'm going to see if I can get this done right away so I can get it in one shot, and I'm not going to get it. It's going to change on me. There we go, $150. And that way it'll show me everything from $100 to $150, but it's going to show me everything in and around Rome. So there's still going to be a lot of hotels, but it's not going to show me how many I'm going to have to look at. So what I really like to do is come down here and look at the tools that I have. Now, I'm going to assume that you've never been to Rome or never been to Europe, so I'm just going to quickly show you what these tools are. These are neighborhoods, and like all big cities around the world, Rome has names for little places around their town. The Trevi Fountain, there's a Trevi Fountain district, which obviously is going to be somewhere around the Trevi Fountain. It could be 3-block area, it could be a 10-block area. Colosseum district, Vatican district, all these are districts. And since I've been to Rome before, I know where I'd like to stay, so I would pick one of those. But you don't know how to do that yet. I'm going to assume you haven't done any of this before. You can also do it by landmark. They list a lot of the landmarks in the area. You could do that, and what happens is if you click on that, it'll only show you hotels in the price range that you're looking for in that district. I usually also don't use the star rating thing because I find that dollars usually equal stars, and so I usually don't bother with that. The next thing I do is I come down here and pick my accommodation type, because I know I like hotels. I could stay in an apartment. If you're going to be there for a long time, you could rent one. I like hotels. You could stay at an inn, you could stay at a bed and breakfast, but I'm going to click on hotels. You could click on as many as these if you want to. If I click on hotel, it's only going to show me hotels and nothing else. So I click on that, and it's going to keep going and going until it changes everything over. Now it's only showing me hotels. Now it doesn't show me how many hotels are left to look at. It just gives me a good listing of them. And so from here, what I like to do is I'll go over to the center section, and I'm just going to start looking at hotels. What I do is I just look at what they look like. I look at their ratings, and one of the things that I'm also looking at that you wouldn't be able to do yet is right here it's telling me what district the hotel is in. Now, if I find a hotel that I like, I can do two things. I can click on this. It's going to pull up a district map, or I can click on the hotel itself to start looking at what it looks like. And then after I decide, okay, this looks like a hotel that I might want to stay in. Maybe I'm looking for a hotel that has old world charm, and this one looks like it has a lot of old world charm. And the next thing I want to do is I want to find out where it is. So I can come over here to this map. It's going to show me that district, and it's going to show me right where the hotel is in that district. And then what I want to do next is I want to start to zoom out and look for a bunch of the area attractions, landmarks. Here's the train station. The train station's almost in the middle of downtown Rome. So what I want to do next is I want to zoom back in a little bit more, and the hotel that I was looking at, it was saying it was way down here. Now that might not be super duper far, but for me, I like to be centrally located. So what you would need to do is, what I would do is I would pull up my map that I made of sightseeing sites, and I could compare it. I could zoom out just a little bit and say, okay, well, the hotel is way down here. I don't want to have to take a cab. It might be farther to walk than I want to. So then I would just go ahead and rule that hotel out. And but if you find a hotel that's out and you love it, go ahead and take it. That just means, like I said earlier, Rome's a walking city. You're going to end up having to take the bus or a cab into town because you're not going to be able to find a place to park a car. So then what you would do, if you want it, you would go through the booking process, which I'll show you later. If you don't, you just go up on one of your tabs and you click on it to get rid of it, and then that way you can come back to the main section and start looking for hotels again and try to find one that you like. So I just go back to looking, and I'm going to scroll down. Here's one in the Rome Termini Station area. Here's another one. This one looks nice. I'll use this one as an example. Instead of going directly to the hotel, I'll just go up and pull up the district map, and it's going to show me, like it did with the other one, it's going to show me where the hotel is. And if you look at this map, you can see all these little blue things and all the gray things. Those are all hotels. The ones that are gray, they're not available, either because they're above or below the price that you put in, or because they're already booked. So if you see any of them that you say, oh, I like this park, I want to stay by it, you just could just hover over it, and it's going to show you a little bit about that place, and you could always click on it to get more information on it. But I'm just looking right now to find neighborhoods, so I'm just going to zoom out just a little bit, and I can see here's the train station again, and I could zoom out more, and I could say, okay, well, by looking at my sightseeing map, I can see here's the train station, and I zoom back in a little bit more, and my all my sites pop back up. I can see that the train station's like the hotel's right about here. Here's the train station. That might not be that far of a walk, because like I said, from the train station to way out here, it's maybe a mile at the most. So that could be a good place to stay if you want to be in that area. Otherwise, you would just click back out again, and you would go back and click on the tab to get rid of that individual listing, and then just keep looking for some more spots. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a district that I've been to before, and I'll be back after I find a hotel. Okay, now that I've found the hotel that I really want to use as an example, I had to scroll pretty far down to find something in the Coliseum district. And that's why I wanted to use it, is because it's in the Coliseum district and the way the hotel is listed on this Veneer website. So I'm going to click on the hotel, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to look at the place, and maybe I like bright colors, maybe I like how the rooms are laid out. It's got a nice breakfast place. I can see that it has a dining room. If that's something that's important for you, then when I come back, I can click on the map again and see where it is in relation to everything. Well, right now I can see right here's the Coliseum. I can zoom out just a little bit, and I can go and look at my sightseeing map again, and I can zoom in just a little bit more, and I can see here's the Coliseum. I can see where all my sites are that I want to see, and then I can say, okay, well, I like the central location, and then I can just go back and click out, and I can say, okay, I like the location. I am going to see what else is available in that district. So then I just click on the tab to eliminate that individual thing, and then I would go all the way back up to the top, where I would go down to the section that says neighborhoods, and I want to go look at only the hotels that's in the Coliseum district. So once you click it, it's going to show you all the hotels that are available for that one night in the district. And you can look at all of them. You can look at the ratings that they have. You can look at how much it is per night. You come down here, you can see that they're only showing 8 hotels, but there's 28 other hotels in this district, and they're not that aren't available. They could be unavailable because they're above or below your price range, or they could be booked for that night. So you can see that even though I'm looking a good 6 months ahead of time, some of the hotels you might be looking at might already be taken. So I know where it's located. I know the area. I think I want to stay in this hotel. So what I need to do next is I want to go look at the hotel specifically, and I want to see what the amenities are. Because if you go there in the summertime, you're going to want a hotel that has air conditioning. And since most of the hotels in Europe are mom and pop type places, you could find a hotel that has 10 rooms, you could find a hotel that has 100 rooms, but just because it's a hotel doesn't necessarily mean that it has air conditioning. So you would want to come down to the amenities section and start looking around to see if it says air conditioning. Sometimes they don't call it the same thing that we would do, and I don't see it here, but this isn't the only place that you would need to look. If you're really interested in this hotel, you would have to go down farther to the area that says in the room, and it says home comforts, climate control. Well, that's what they're calling air conditioning, is climate control. So if you decide that this is the hotel you want to stay in, the next thing you do is come down here and look at the room types that are available, because they're a lot different than what they are U.S. hotels. Here in the US, hotel rooms are pretty much the exact same everywhere. You always have a big room with 2 beds that holds 2 people in it. Where in Europe, it's not always like that. You could rent a hotel room, like even at this hotel. Here's a good example. Here's a picture of a single room, and it's 1 bed that only holds 1 person. So when you come down here and you look at these, not all the hotel listings are going to tell you what size bed it is. Sometimes it just has this thing, or it'll say double bed or twin bed or something like that. I have on my website a nice article on hotels and what all these mean and what it means when they say double, single, twin, whatever. But for this hotel, they usually have things listed, and they have pictures of it. So that's always nice. So let's say you want to stay in this room. It's going to have a queen size bed. Now you have 2 ways you can pay, and this happens with a lot of hotels in Europe. Is they have a low price and a high price. Well, the high price is for free cancellation. If you go book the low price, you're going to save money. But if something happens, it's some of your stay is non-refundable. I don't know how much it is. I don't know if it's a night. I don't know if it's 2 nights. I really don't know. I've never delved into that aspect of it. But you'd have to decide which one of those you want, and then you would go over and click on book if you're only going to stay for 1 night. But since I look for these the way I do, I want to see what's available for 1 night and what the rooms look like. Then what I would do is I would come over here. I'm going to click on the name of the hotel. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to get out of this listing only for that hotel. I'm going to go back up to the main page. I'm going to click on change search. I'm going to change my dates to I want to stay there for 3 nights. Then I go back over and say search. And what it's going to do, it's going to pull up that hotel. But sometimes it does this. You just have to go back over and click on price, and it'll pop back up. I haven't figured out why it's doing that, but and it really didn't even. It popped up, and it's back where I want it. I just come back over here and I paste the name of the hotel in. Click the little blue box, and it's going to bring that hotel to the top page with the new dates in it. Sometimes it takes a little while, but now you can see it went from $131 a night to the total for my stay. Then the next thing that I do, I just click select, which gives me that hotel. I go back down, and it has the listing for my 3 nights that I'm going to stay. I click on book, and it's going to take me to the standard page that all hotel booking companies have, where you put your name, address, credit card information, and all that stuff. And then after you're done, you just go down and click confirm. Then what happens is you'll get a confirmation letter from the hotel and from Veneer. And once you get that, you'll also get their website address, their particular website address, and you'll also get their email address. That way, if you go ahead and read some of the reviews, maybe somebody says they really, really liked room 12, and they describe the room and they describe the view. You could always email them and say, I heard a review. I really like the idea of staying in room 12. Could I have it if it's available? And if it's available, then you can get it, and it makes it even that much better, because then you're going to get exactly what you want. And that's part of the whole point of learning how to do this. This isn't just learning for this one trip. After you learn how to do this, you'll be an expert at picking your hotels for the rest of your life, no matter where you're going, because knowledge is important, especially when traveling, because it gets you the best way to get the best deals, the best location, and everything else that you want. So hopefully you've learned something here, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you need more information about other things, you could go to My Italian Travels. Even though it's an Italian travel site, everything that I discuss on the site is applicable to everywhere in Europe, and a lot of the stuff works really well in other parts of the world. So you can go ahead and go there, and I have Veneer on my website. You can book anything you want through there, along with other hotel booking sites and airplanes and everything else you want to get. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and have a really good day.